in other languages besides English, besides here. We've got Rocket Baguette covering this one, and a bunch of other languages available with the exclamation mark languages command. So check out all the commands, guys, and also shout out to our sponsors as we get ready to kick off game number 1 here. Psionics and Space Station Gaming coming in clutch with the prize pool contributions for the Salt Mine 2. We're ready to get started here. Looks like Alpha is itching to go. Rehzzy not yet jumping into the lobby. Hopefully he does. But yeah, Alpha just checked in on the hour, and then he jumps right into the game. Are we gonna... Okay, we are gonna get this one started. So Rehzzy just noticing in time that Alpha is here. Let me just bring us into the game. Now, like I said, Alpha is my pick to win this qualifier, but we did see Rehzzy getting a win already against Scrubkilla, so you never know. Maybe these guys are just warming up, testing the server. I think that they are. Yeah, they didn't tell me this. Good thing that I don't know what they're doing. But as soon as it... Right, okay, we'll play a game, guys. When do you think that they're finished testing the server? Because I've got admin mode, I can just pause it. Does it look like they're... Do they look like they're eager to get this one going, or does it look like they're still warming up? 1 in chat if you think that they look like they've prepared themselves. 2 if you think that they're still testing. I think that I think it looks pretty good to me. I didn't know that people with 28 ping connections tested servers, but there you go. Rehzzy and Alpha want to make sure it's a good one. It's fair enough, fair enough. But let's get into game number 1. We are ready to get this started now. We'll be able to tell very quickly if they are in fact playing the game. That looks like a pretty legit kickoff to me, and Alpha is stronger of the 2 players on the first one of the game. He's going to start off with a pump, and it's a rude awakening to Rehzzy, who did not have to play through round 1 because his opponent there did not show for his match. So this will be the first match of the day for both of these guys. I love how every time somebody scores an air dribble bump, there's someone in chat spamming one trick pony. Is this a Jesse meme? Is this because Jesse scores these all over the place? Yeah, this will tell us a lot about Alpha's farm. If he can beat Rehzzy here, and that's a very impressive result, because Rehzzy took Dead Monster to game 5 0 seconds before Dead Monster went on to win Qualifier 2, and Rehzzy in that same qualifier beat Scrubkilla 3-1. Now Alpha's making him look pretty normal at the moment, but if you've watched Alpha a lot in the past, like I have, you'll know that he does this to everybody sometimes. He'll just take over a game and start to smash in goals. Definitely a match for anyone in the world mechanically when he's feeling good. Yeah, based on the first 30 seconds, I'm calling a sweep for Alpha. This is just too comfortable for him. Rehzzy has had no chance on any of these plays. Alpha is just making it look easy right now. The problem that Rehzzy has here, well, he's got 2 problems. One of them is that I think he's going to be outpaced mechanically. He's outmatched mechanically, certainly, and that's an open net miss for him. But secondly, I think Alpha's 1v1 IQ is a level above. We saw some pretty smart plays by Rehzzy in his match against Scrub, but I think Alpha will be too good for him in both aspects of the game. And you know, when you're outmatched mechanically and strategically, what do you do? What is your plan, Twitch chat, if you don't have the other player in at least one of those categories? Alpha's mixing up his defense very well here. Just diving in for the challenge this time. Then you bumpy. You play bumpy. I mean, bumping, or you know, that would be a strategy, so it kind of falls under the previous category. I think the third aspect to 1v1 besides mechanics and strategy, we saw it a lot in the Khaled vs Arya series. Mentality, that is the third aspect. Alpha, definitely not as unshakable and unbreakable mechanically or mentally as Khaled is, but he has been in much more high pressure positions than this. A round 2 match for Qualifier, for a tournament that he's just playing for fun. You know, Rehzzy, the guy under the pressure here, he's the one who really wants to make a run here, start adding more points to the leaderboard so that he can get through on those points. I don't think many players are expecting to make that dream run that Dead Monster did. That's some nice power on the flick, but it's off target from Rehzzy. Oh, nice turn though, and that is another goal for him. Now this is looking a lot more promising. Alpha got a bit cheeky in the corner, and this is kind of reminiscent to what Scrub was doing against Rehzzy, just jumping and bunny hopping in his back corner. But Rehzzy, after missing that demo, after faking it, just turned right and shot the ball before Alpha could recover. Extremely fast play. Speed won first game. Are they really already done the first game? What are the other scores right now? We've got 5 matches going on at the moment in the the third EU qualifier. Look at Rehzzy go. This is testing, but Alpha with an unbelievable save sends him back to his own half to think again, and this is going to be just another reminder to Rehzzy of how well he's going to have to play today if he wants to beat Alpha. That was unbelievable. And he kept that one out of the net. Brilliant demo by Rehzzy. He's stepping up. He's starting to take control of back-to-back plays. Not wasting any time on the attack, but this isn't really something that'll cause Alpha many problems. His shadowing is exceptional. He really does space himself so well away from the plays that he can catch up on any long shots and still have the option to turn and challenge. Pinch shot for Alpha. Is that going in off the ceiling? It is. Rehzzy has kept it out of the goal. Nice retreat there by Rehzzy after realizing what Alpha was doing, but he is in a bit of bother now as Alpha gets the boost and scores another one. And yeah, just had to be contact on the ball there for Rehzzy. He's completely all in. You think Khaled will win EU, Farskiller will win NA? Those are the least bold predictions I've ever seen in my life. I predict that the next game in this tournament will feature Orange Team versus Blue Team. Just to add another stunning prediction to the list. But anyone got a more bold prediction of who's going to win each region? I think here's a bold one. I think Jorias is going to win. I think Jorias wins EU. He's had a lot of lessons recently, and you do learn from your losses. And Jorias, he certainly had a lot to learn from that reverse sweep against apparently Jack. Never to lose focus, no matter how one-sided a series looks. And now he's also had a lesson in 1v1 mentality and untiltability from Khaled. So I think Jorias, probably out of the top players recently, has learned the most, or certainly has had the potential to learn the most, and that's why I've got him winning this whole thing, because he's going to be playing Qualifier 4. Jorias might need to win that Qualifier to make it into the main event. And I think he can do that. Khaled's not going to be in it. Dead Monster's not going to be in it. The winner of this Qualifier 3 is not going to be in it as well. Although I think, other than apparently Jack, Jorias is probably quite confident against everybody in this Qualifier. Yeah, for North America, after what I saw yesterday, I was very hopeful and very excited to see more of Mile. Beautiful shot by Alpha there off the wall. Very nicely done. That's game 1 pretty much in the bag. Do I think Com could win an NA qualifier? I think Com is definitely a player who can pop off and make a deep run. Same thing as like Forky. Those guys who have got ridiculous mechanics and creative offense, when they start scoring, they keep scoring. We've seen it in the past. When they pop off, they really do step up. But yeah, North America's looking more stacked than ever, to be honest. There's more players right now that are competitive in the North American 1 scene than there ever have been. The talent pool over there significantly increasing now. It's also increasing in EU, but that's always it's been the case. EU's never really had just a handful of players who are dominating. It's always been 8, 10, or even a dozen who are taking games off each other, series off each other. Rehzzy's trying to get into that mix. He's already taken 1 series off Scrubkilla this tournament, but to prove that it wasn't a one-off, it wasn't a fluke, he needs to try and replicate that somehow. And this is his second last chance. He's going to be in Q4 as well, I believe, but it's not going to get any easier for Rehzzy. He's had opportunities, and the real one that he's going to be angry about is that series against Dead Monster in Qualifier 2. That went to Game 5, 0 seconds, and Rehzzy played pretty carelessly to concede on 0 seconds. It was a nice play by Dead Monster, but still something that Rehzzy will be very upset about, I'm sure. He had the near post cover, just did not expect Dead Monster to go for a play. Nice bump by Rehzzy to start off game number 2. Alpha decided to just back off and see what he was going to bring. And, you know, although Alpha's shadowing, like I said, is still almost always perfectly positioned, your positioning is only half the battle when your opponent comes at you with a bump. You see potential in Speed for some reason. Speed is a very solid player. Speed is just one of the most consistent players I've seen in terms of level of performance that he brings to every series he plays in. When he does end up in a 2-0 deficit in a game 3, I think that's when really we start to see him fall off. His confidence takes a huge hit, but up until then, he's very, very solid. Going very close with Liquipedia in their round of 16 match in Qualifier 2. As Alpha got the boost here, decides to fly back down, and that is really nice placement. I love that from Alpha because if he did continue to fly up for this, I'm pretty sure he would have ran out of boost and missed the rebound. So instead he just flies back down to the ground, places it past Rehzzy, who was pre-jumping. Yeah, really guys, Alpha's looking good today. We all saw what Rehzzy could do against Scrubkiller. It doesn't look like he's got anywhere near as much control against Alpha. It's early days yet though. Very early days yet. Any chance we'll see Rehzzy and Rehzzy 1v1? Maybe. We'll see. We've got lots of EU 1v1 to get through today. That should be a goal for Alpha. He saved just enough boost on the kickoff to scoop this one up on top of his car. Rehzzy just can't catch a break. He just can't stay ahead for more than a few seconds, it seems. Apparently Jack can compete with both of them when he's his best. Yeah, apparently Jack can compete with anybody when he's at his best. Dead Monster beating apparently Jack in that grand final just will shut up anybody who thinks that he only made it into the tournament because he had an easy run. He beat Rehzzy, who had eliminated Scrubkiller the round prior. Then he beat Astral, and then he beat apparently Jack. And he didn't even go to game 5 versus Astral, apparently Jack. Just insane plays by Dead Monster. I was checking out his stream yesterday after he qualified for the Saltmine 2 main event, and yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. I encourage you guys to check him out, and all the other players who are streaming their matches. I think that today we've got Tho streaming his POV for his qualifiers. Like I've said before, do be aware that these players will potentially have some colorful language during their games. All the casters and all the other streamers who are covering the action should not, however. So you're perfectly safe with them. Now, this is an interesting game. Alpha quite happy to play the game of chess with Rehzzy. He's not just trying to blow him away mechanically. Almost blew himself away with a mechanical failure there. Yeah, Scrub is going to be streaming his qualifier matches, I believe, from here onwards. He decided not to stream the one against Rehzzy, and I don't know, he just didn't look like he could focus. It wasn't the best performance from Scrub in Q2. Strange. It's strange to see, because I've watched lots of Scrub's videos on YouTube, and he doesn't seem to find it very difficult to sit down and play 3 or 4 1v1 ranked games in a row, and, you know, be absolutely try-hard sweaty for every single one of them. But, yeah, I don't know, there's something weird. In the last qualifier he played, he was just not able to focus, I guess. He wasn't able to play as seriously as he wanted to. He did say this on Twitter, that's why I'm bringing it up. Yeah, it's very odd to see that. Very, very odd to see. No, Scrub is not out for today. He will be on stream later. Nice save. Wow, what a stop by Rehzzy. Alpha must have expected that one to go in, but he wasn't all in on it going in. He's got a follow-up as well, and Rehzzy's got that one covered. And look at this by Rehzzy. Which one of these guys is the mechanical genius? This is some fantastic stuff. He's really got to be careful though. Look at the power that Alpha can generate from almost nothing in the back corner. You think the best Scrub could do is get semi-final before losing to Jack? Well, we'll find out, won't we? I think Scrub could beat Jack. That would be a great series. I think Scrub's problem is that when he's against someone who's not an absolutely top tier player at the moment, he just struggles to to get into that top gear that he sometimes has. That's not a problem that Alpha has. When he's against someone who he's supposed to beat, he just tends to beat them with no issues. But Scrubkill is a lot easier to upset recently, it would seem, in 1v1. Alpha ahead by 1 goal again. Rehzzy's air dribble bump save is fantastic right now, and that is going to be a goal for him. Oh my goodness! I spoke too soon. He's missed another open net. Rehzzy has to get his act together here. He will, but that previous shot was so far off. I actually can't believe he's missed it by that distance. Luckily, Alpha gave him another go at it. Upset in more than one way. Touché. Another tie game as Rehzzy missing an open net in both of the first 2 games here. Oh dear, he's ran into the back corner for the demo, and Alpha has just not let it happen. Good awareness by Alpha. He just kept on boosting away from the play, got up the wall, and that made it impossible for Rehzzy to chase him any further. But this looks pretty bad for Rehzzy. I absolutely do not see him reverse sweeping Alpha. I don't think that's happening. Alpha is so solid, and just these days, one of the best players in the world in every single game mode. Maybe even the best 2v2 player in the world, I would say, after seeing the Fusion 2v2 tournaments. Who would you guys have as your best 2s player worldwide? I know for NA it's got to be Sipical after seeing the North American Fusion tournament. But the stuff that Alpha was doing in Fusion, just a step above anybody else in my opinion. It was just ridiculous. Jesse or Fairy, I love that. Everybody's saying Jesse here. Oh wow. So OSM has failed to show for his game today, and he is out of Qualifier 3. This has just been a disastrous tournament for OSM. Round 1 in both of the previous qualifiers, and now no showing. Well, that's a real shame for all of the fans who are wanting to see him play. For OSM, just no SM today. There was never one to begin with. Alpha really keeping Rehzzy guessing up until the last minute and then blasting him with a 50-50. Fusion was so good it had the feel of a World Cup too. That's awesome. I'm glad you liked it, man. That was a cheeky pinch by Rehzzy. Notice that he didn't take much of a run up at that one, which I love because it gives the other player less time to react. Oh dear, Alpha has forced him into a compromised position here though. Rehzzy messed up really badly. He just misjudged where his back wall was. Obviously trying to catch that one on the back wall. 2 more Fusion type tourneys, that's really good. I'll tell you a different type of crew battle tournament that I would love to see happen. Oh my goodness, Alpha. I think it's over, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's it. GG's. Rehzzy, good luck in Qualifier 4. Like I was saying, one of the another crew battle format that I would love to see is international 1v1 crew battle. So you could have like a France versus well, just to give you an idea of what it would look like. Let's say you had France versus England 1v1, then England would have well, whatever English team you've got, there could be more than one, but let's say England A team is apparently Jack, and whatever other English players apparently Jack picks for his team, versus whatever players France decides to pick for their team. Just 3 players each, and then you play a best of 5 where each player has each player in the team has 1 life. So round 1, let's say it's Fairy Peak, Alpha, and who else would you put in for France? Exotic probably. Fairy Peak, Alpha, and Exotic versus apparently Jack. Maybe throw an Ixo in there. Who else has been doing well in this qualifier? Rehzzy has been, he made a quarterfinal one time, so you know, let's say round 1 would be Fairy Peak versus Ixo, and then if Fairy Peak wins, Ixo's eliminated, and England have to send in another player. They send Jack in, he beats Fairy, France send in Alpha, and then Alpha beats Jack. And then England have their last man left, who has to beat Alpha and the last player exotic for France. So that's how it would work. It would be like a best of 5, but every player only has 1 life. And the reason I'm interested to see that is because of something Fairy Peak said in the post, one of the streams he did after the Fusion Ones tournament. He said that he doesn't want to play any Ones tournaments where he is only playing for himself, but the fact that he was playing for a team in Fusion, it really motivated him to like fully focus and play to his best ability. And I think that you know, that kind of team 1v1 atmosphere would bring that back to the table. It would, you know, these guys are gonna double dribble. Alpha's not having it though. I would love to see Alpha just keep on double dribbling for as long as he can, because he's already in the lead here. Nice 50-50 by Rehzzy. He's got the equalizer. We do have an interesting game 3. Definitely called it too early here. My bad on that one. Any international Ones tourney would be cool, especially with Kux and Dead Monster. Now, I don't know if Kux would play, but yeah, Dead Monster, Arju, another player who's popping off from Italy recently. I mean, I'd love to see Arju, Dead Monster, Kux 3v3. The 3 Italian players have really been playing well in tournaments this year. But yeah, I want to see crew battle 1v1, and you can make it international just to give it a bit more spice. Obviously, there's some really strong countries: the Netherlands with Jorias, Saudi Arabia with Khaled. Yeah, what other countries would you guys be looking out for? France, well, Scotland. Yeah, Scotland would definitely have a chance, but I think England would be the better of the home nations here, with apparently Jack's recent success and more of a talent pool to draw from. Spain, yeah, Spain definitely. We've seen very impressive Spanish Ones players recently. Oh, that's brilliant play by Alpha. He's giving Rehzzy some space here. Luckily, Rehzzy doesn't have a lot of boost, but he's going to use it perfectly. Rehzzy equalizes again, and waits to show up in game 3 when he was down by 3 goals. Still starts to play some of the best Rocket League we've seen from him today. Belgium. I don't know what other players besides Astral they would have. But yeah, the Netherlands, France, England, and Saudi Arabia. They would be my top picks for the European region, for sure. And then, obviously, it's a bit harder to do something like this in America. I don't know if it would be possible to do like a States 1v1 crew battle kind of thing. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at Rehzzy go. Let's pause for a second here just to decide whether or not he was going to get this. But that is some really nice control. Brilliant acceleration on the ball. He's ahead by 1. Maybe region, States would be bad. Yeah, there's a lot of players. I mean, we'd have to take a look at the 1v1 talent pool and figure out, okay, what states are these guys from? You know, are there many competitive states? If you've got at least 4 states that are really good, then it could be a success, I suppose. States plus Canada. Yeah, maybe you could have the Canadian regions as well, whatever they're called. Look at the delayed boost there by Alpha. He made it look like he was just going to try and fly behind this and dunk it in, and then he somehow managed to lift it over the top. US East versus West. Well, US East versus West doesn't really make for much of a tournament because that would only be 2 teams. In a, you know, in a kind of country's European edition, like I was talking about, you would have the potential for having something like, well, at least 8 teams, but maybe even a 16-team tournament. So it would be more interesting. Whereas if you've only got East versus West USA, that's 2 teams. It wouldn't really. I mean, you'd have a show match and that's it. You're done. Just like you have a final and you're finished. Would be better without the country and just have the top 10 players choose your team. Well, I think adding the country element makes it more interesting for me. That might be just my opinion, but I really like the idea of making it countries, just to see what kind of teams you get. I mean, you wouldn't only need 1 France team. Like, I think France have enough good Ones players to make more than 1 team for a tournament like that. England as well have enough, and even Saudi Arabia, all the countries I mentioned, a lot of them have got way more players than 3. So you could have like an A team and a B team for countries like that, and then the countries with smaller talent pool, they would just have the one team. Rehzzy's actually got this game. I don't believe this. It looked over with Alpha just piling on the pressure at the start of game number 3, but Rehzzy has wasted time at the end of this one, and that is going to be a 2-goal lead as he draws Alpha into his half. What a performance by Rehzzy. You know, we talked about English players earlier. There's Rehzzy and Rehzzy as well, both English. And he's going to take us into game 4 here. I'm impressed. I thought he was done. I do still think he's going to lose this about 95% of the time from this series position, but we've absolutely got a series in our hands here, that's for sure. The Scottish team would be 3 times Scrub. I don't know who the 3 best Scottish 1v1 players are. I know Kyle Zafé was in the Fusion tournament. I don't think he played ones though. Captain's draft crew battle. Guys, these are all good ideas, but I like the country's idea. I think it gives every team a real identity, you know? And it makes it so much more interesting for the casual viewer to watch. Because even if you're not a fan of esports and Rocket League esports as as specific to the team and player level, anyone can watch a tournament and say, wait a minute, my country's playing, that's cool. You know, I've watched a whole bunch of sports of the Olympics that I've never watched before, just because I want to see if my country can do well. I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Is Germany good in ones? Germany's got definitely a few solid ones players. They would be an underdog team in compared to France, KSA, England, Netherlands though. They're my top 4. Another pinch attempt by Alpha. This one Rehzzy did see coming as well. Rehzzy's had his eye on those. He knows Alpha's capable. Oh, wow. Rehzzy was up pretty quick to challenge there, but Alpha managed to sneak it past him. Who's my favorite USA player? What, you mean like a 1v1 player? Right now, honestly, my favorite 1v1 player to watch is Calm. That guy's series, I mean, I've never seen a boring Calm series. He is actually the most entertaining ones player in North America. Forky would have to be up there as well. Recently, he's not had as good results. He's been swept, I think, in his last 3 show matches, but he was live streaming those as well on his own channel, which makes it a bit more nerve-wracking for him. Yeah, Calm for me has got to be the most entertaining player in North America. Really, really good player as well. I rate Calm. I rate him a lot. Ooh, Alpha kind of only half going into that shot. That wasn't the most confident thing I've ever seen from him. Now he's taking his time here. Lots of little wiggles and fakes. He baited Rehzzy in as well. He's overshot the center ball, and now Rehzzy's got a chance to stay with this. He gives it away. Alpha still circling the edge of the box. Every single time he's going for these low 50-50s, and it will bounce nicely for him this time. 2-0 to Alpha. Similar start as game number 3. Yeah, Gengar as well. He's obviously very entertaining to watch. Sharif entertaining. Yeah, there's loads of guys who are entertaining. Sharif's definitely one of them as well. I think Khaled is the best 1v1 player. Definitely. Definitely, I do. Khaled, unbelievable. You know, the series against Jorius was one of the most tactical and one of the most grueling series I've ever watched. Khaled came back from way behind in 2 games. Look at this by Rehzzy though. Speaking of coming back from behind, he's done it again, and that is a fantastic flick. This guy has got some legit moves, and you know, this is his time to prove himself. He beat Scrubkilla in the last qualifier, and like I've said, that is a series that a lot of people will put down to Scrub playing badly. I don't think that it was the case at all. I think Scrub didn't play his best, but he didn't play badly. Rehzzy did play a great series there, but to beat Alpha is another thing entirely right now. Alpha recently has been so dominant, and even in ones, you know, besides the loss to Jorius that he had in Qualifier 1 here, he managed to beat apparently Jack in Fusion, and he managed to beat Scrubkilla in the first qualifier more comfortably than Rehzzy did in Qualifier 2, so I definitely have Alpha on a level above at the moment, and if Rehzzy can take us to Game 5 here, that would be an impressive result to say the least. But what's going on in the other matches, guys? Have we got any score updates from the 4 other matches that are currently happening in the Qualifier 3 bracket? Who do I think would win first killer versus Khaled on a neutral server? I think best of 7 Khaled probably wins 4-2 on an uneven ping. Khaled's he's shown us in the past many times that he can handle players with the kind of speed that first killer has. You know, he's manhandled Astral a few times, Ixo a few times. You know, these are similar kind of players to first killer. Obviously, they don't get the same kind of consistent results because they don't have to play against, well, they play against tougher competition, I would say. Tho swept, Samway swept, seriously? Both of them swept in round 1. I didn't think either of those guys were going to get swept. The bot is beating Shogun's chat right now. Are they doing the little Twitch chat plays Rocket League? Beautiful touch there by Alpha. He's making Rehzzy work with these 50-50s. Will he get this one in? Yes, he will. That's a nice little calculated approach there from Alpha. Ali is about to sweep as well. Seriously? What is going on in this bracket? That's crazy. Samway drew against OSM. No, OSM I think forfeited. Oh, I see what you mean. Samway swept as in he's through. So Speed swept Silent. Tho swept Rob. And Ali is sweeping Louis P. Now that is a crazy result. Ali sweeping Louis P. Louis has been one of the most consistent performers throughout the Salt Mine 2 qualifiers so far. And he is really looking down and out of it versus Ali today. That's a name that we really have to pay attention to. FY Ali from the Middle East. He is a legit threat to this entire bracket. And that's pretty messy by Alpha. Turning completely the wrong way here. Just oversteered, really. You see a lot of people use this car model for 1v1. Is it optimal? I think it's, well, two things. One, it's because it's newer, it's harder for players to play against because they're less used to seeing it do things. But yeah, it's a very intuitive hitbox. The Fennec just makes sense. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And yeah, because of that, you know, boxy shape, it makes for, I think, easier shooting and easier flicking than the Octane from a consistency standpoint. But I do think the Octane, it just looks more smooth when it's moving. So sometimes playing the Octane can get a player feeling fast and playing fast as a result of that feeling. KSAOP, well, certainly looks like it, especially after seeing these results coming in today from Ali. Oh wow, just got some very interesting news, guys. Astral might be forfeiting his match today as well, because he has a birthday today. Is it Astral's birthday, or does he have to go to somebody else? Does he get an invite to someone else's birthday party? What on earth? I didn't see that one coming. Astral throwing so hard. I mean, yeah, that is quite literally throwing your tournament opportunities away. Hey, maybe it's a hot grill, guys. Give him a break. Oh, it's so close for Rehzzy to have a late opportunity here, but that's going to be game. Alpha holds on at the end of the fourth one. But yeah, overall, a very dominant performance from him. I think Rehzzy, someone we need to look out for in the fourth qualifier. Now that he's only got that one more opportunity, he might be able to step it up and make it in, but wow, Alpha just looking deadly. This is the only qualifier that I believe Alpha is going to be playing. I don't think he's playing Qualifier 4, so he really needs to make a deep run here. But yeah, so far so good. He's into round 3, the quarterfinal, which will be tomorrow. If we take a look down the list, we know we've got Exotic still. Didn't look great in Qualifier 2. Ali actually, that's a game. Alpha54 versus FY Ali. Ali just smashing Louis today. 10-9, 9-5, 7-3. Ridiculous stuff by him after winning 3-1 against AMS in very close games. Exotic versus Tho, who's just swept Rob. Speed sweeping Silent. He'll face Samway in the next round. Did Speed and Samway play? I don't think they did play in a qualifier yet. Did they? Did they play in qualifier 2 or something? No, they didn't. It was Nolly who beat Samway in qualifier 2. Another English player. Captain's draft crew battle. Guys, these are all good ideas, but I like the country's idea. I think it makes it gives every team a real identity, you know? And it makes it so much more interesting for the casual viewer to watch. Because even if you're not a fan of esports and Rocket League esports as a, like, you know, as specific to the team and player level, anyone can like watch a tournament and say, wait a minute, my country's playing, that's cool. You know, I've watched a whole bunch of sports at the Olympics that I've never watched before, just because I want to see if my country can do well. I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Is Germany good in ones? Germany's got yeah, definitely a few solid ones players. They would be an underdog team in a, you know, compared to France, KSA, England, Netherlands though. They're my top 4. Another pinch attempt by Alpha. This one Rehzzy did see coming as well. Rehzzy's had his eye on those. He knows Alpha's capable. Oh, wow. Rehzzy was up pretty quick to challenge there, but Alpha managed to sneak it past him. Who's my favorite USA player? What, you mean like 1v1 player? Right now, honestly, my favorite 1v1 player to watch is Com. That guy's series, I mean, I've never seen a boring Com series. He is actually the most entertaining ones player in North America. Forky would have to be up there as well. Recently, he's not had as good results. He's been swept, I think, in his last 3 show matches, but he was live streaming those as well on his own channel, which makes it a bit more nerve-wracking for him. Yeah, Com for me has got to be the most entertaining player in North America. Really, really good player as well. I rate Com. I rate him a lot. Oh, Alpha kind of only half going into that shot. That wasn't the most confident thing I've ever seen from him. Now he's taking his time here. Lots of little wiggles and fakes. He baited Rehzzy in as well. He's overshot the center ball, and now Rehzzy's got a chance to stay with this. He gives it away. Alpha still circling the edge of the box. Every single time he's going for these low 50-50s, and it will bounce nicely for him this time. 2-0 to Alpha. Similar start as game number 3. Yeah, Gengar as well. He's obviously very entertaining to watch. Sharif entertaining. Yeah, there's loads of guys who are entertaining. Sharif definitely one of them as well. I think Khaled is the best 1v1 player. Definitely. Definitely, I do. Khaled, unbelievable. You know, the series against Jorius was one of the most tactical and one of the most grueling series I've ever watched. Khaled came back from way behind in 2 games. Look at this by Rehzzy though. Speaking of coming back from behind, he's done it again, and that is a fantastic flick. This guy has got some legit moves, and you know, this is his time to prove himself. He beat Scrubkilla in the last qualifier, and like I've said, that is a, you know, series that a lot of people will put down to Scrub playing badly. I don't think that it was the case at all. I think Scrub didn't play his best, but he didn't play badly. Rehzzy did play a great series there, but to beat Alpha is another thing entirely right now. Alpha recently has been so dominant, and even in ones, you know, besides the loss to Jorius that he had in Qualifier 1 here, he managed to beat apparently Jack in Fusion, and he managed to beat Scrubkilla in the first qualifier more comfortably than Rehzzy did in Qualifier 2, so I definitely have Alpha on a level above at the moment, and if Rehzzy can take us to Game 5 here, that would be an impressive result to say the least. Well, what's going on in the other matches, guys? Have we got any score updates from the 4 other matches that are currently happening in the Qualifier 3 bracket? Who do I think would win? First Killer versus Khaled on a neutral server. I think best of 7, Khaled probably wins 4-2 on an even ping. Khaled's he's shown us in the past many times that he can handle players with the kind of speed that First Killer has. You know, he's manhandled Astral a few times, Ixo a few times. You know, these are similar kind of players to First Killer. Obviously, they don't get the same kind of consistent results because they don't have to play against, well, they play against tougher competition, I would say. Tho swept, Samway swept, seriously? Both of them swept in round 1. I didn't think either of those guys were going to get swept. The bot is beating Shogun's chat right now. Are they doing the little Twitch chat plays Rocket League? Beautiful touch there by Alpha. Just making Rehzzy work with these 50-50s. Will he get this one in? Yes, he will. That's a nice little calculated approach there from Alpha. Ali is about to sweep as well. Seriously? What is going on in this bracket? That's crazy. Samway drew against OSM. No, OSM, I think, forfeited. Oh, I see what you mean. Samway swept, as in he's through. So Speed swept Silent, Tho swept Rob, and Ali is sweeping Louis P. Now that is a crazy result. Ali sweeping Louis P. Louis has been one of the most consistent performers throughout the Salt Mine 2 qualifiers so far. And he is really looking down and out of it versus Ali today. That's a name that we really have to pay attention to. FY Ali from the Middle East. He is a legit threat to this entire bracket. And that's pretty messy by Alpha. Turning completely the wrong way here. Just oversteered, really. You see a lot of people use this car model for 1v1. Is it optimal? I think it's... Well, two things. One, it's because it's newer, it's harder for players to play against because they're less used to seeing it do things. But yeah, it's a very intuitive hitbox. The Fennec just makes sense. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And yeah, because of that, you know, boxy shape, it makes for, I think, easier shooting and easier flicking than the Octane. From a consistency standpoint, but I do think the Octane, it just looks more smooth when it's moving, so sometimes playing the Octane can get a player feeling fast and playing fast as a result of that feeling. KSAOP, well, it certainly looks like it, especially after seeing these results coming in today from Ali. Oh wow, I've just got some very interesting news, guys. Astral might be forfeiting his match today as well because he has a birthday today. Is it Astral's birthday, or does he have to go to somebody else? Does he get an invite to someone else's birthday party? What on earth? I didn't see that one coming. Astral throwing so hard. I mean, yeah, that is quite literally throwing your tournament opportunities away. Hey, maybe it's a hot grill, guys. Give him a break. Oh, it's so close for Rehzzy to have a late opportunity here, but that's going to be game. Alpha holds on at the end of the fourth one. But yeah, overall, a very dominant performance from him. I think Rehzzy, someone we need to look out for in the fourth qualifier. Now that he's only got that one more opportunity, he might be able to step it up and make it in, but wow, Alpha just looking deadly. This is the only qualifier that I believe Alpha is going to be playing. I don't think he's playing Qualifier 4, so he really needs to make a deep run here. But yeah, so far so good. He's into round 3, the quarterfinal, which will be tomorrow.